You've seen the headlines. President Biden officially banned all Russian oil and gas imports into the U.S. In his own words, defending freedom is going to cost. Today, we're talking about how the U.S. ban on Russia oil imports is impacting gas prices in America. I'll also share real tips and tricks so you can save money on gas. If you're circling around the block to find the cheapest gas station, it can get very irritating. But did you know that there are apps you can download on your smartphone that help you find the cheapest gas stations near you? Apps like Gas Buddy, Waze, and Gas Guru. They say sometimes it can end up saving you up to 30 cents a gallon. The reason is, apps like these constantly update gas prices in real time. You can even get notifications on your phone for deals. With rising gas pricing, most people are starting to use these types of apps. In fact, on March 7th, there was so much user traffic on Gas Buddy that it was inaccessible on and off that entire day. And another app, Gas Guru, gives you information straight from the Oil Price Information Service. It even lets you search by fuel grade and amenities too. Now, if you're on the road and don't care to download any of these apps, here's a good rule of thumb. Avoid gas stations just off the highway exit or in the middle of a major city. Gas stations located in those areas generally have higher prices. It's also a great idea to consider reward cards. For example, Gas Buddy offers a free gas card that can save you up to 25 cents a gallon at most gas stations across the country. Retailers like Walmart, Kroger, Safeway, Costco, BJ's, and Sam's Clubs also have competitive fuel rewards programs. And many gas stations often offer discount for cash payments as opposed to credit card payments. Wondering what day of the week is best for pumping gas? Turns out it's Monday. Gas Buddy did a study where they discovered that Mondays usually have the cheapest prices in most U.S. states. On the other hand, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays generally mean higher prices. There are other practical tips to help you save money on gas. Let's start with the easiest one. First off, it's best to check for peak traffic hours in your area before you set off on the road. The heavier the traffic, the longer you'll sit in it. On the other hand, if you spend less time idling in traffic, you'll waste less gas too. Speaking of idling, just don't do it. At least try not to. If you need to wait for more than 1 minute, it's best to turn off your engine if it's safe to. Newer vehicles now have engines that automatically stop when the car idles for a certain period of time. Did you know that idling can cost you up to half a gallon of gas per hour? Waiting at a red light takes 45 to 120 seconds. Starting your car only requires about 10 seconds of gas. Even if it's cold outside, don't idle your car for long periods of time to try to warm up your car. All it does is waste fuel. Now, if you're one of those drivers who loves to speed from point A to point B, I've got some advice for you. Just slow down. Slowing down and driving at the speed limit reduces aerodynamic drag. The lower the drag, the higher the fuel economy. Fuel economy starts to drop significantly when you speed above 50 miles per hour. Also, when you accelerate, gradually ease up on the brake. When you brake suddenly or accelerate quickly, car eats up more gas. That's why coasting down a hill to a red light is recommended. Cruise control is also a great option to help you maintain the best speed and save fuel when the road is flat. Here's one that might be new to you. Don't wait until spring cleaning to clean out your car. Carrying extra cargo in your car adds weight to the vehicle. I'm talking about things like sand or salt bags for removing ice. The more weight your car has, the more gas it needs to get moving. Losing an extra 100 pounds from your vehicle can improve your gas mileage by 1%. That's based on the percentage of extra weight relative to your vehicle's weight. Also, things like cargo containers or bike racks on a roof increase the vehicle's wind resistance. This means that the engine has to work harder to maintain its speed. In fact, this aerodynamic drag can increase fuel consumption by up to a whopping 20% on the highway. So if you don't use those features regularly, just remove them for your daily commute. Also, make sure your tires are properly inflated. Low tire pressure reduces fuel efficiency. Not only that, but it also wears your tires out quickly. Tires lose pressure over time. You can't avoid it. That's why you should check the pressure at least once a month. Now, if you ever see your car's check engine light come on, take it to a repair shop as soon as possible or get your code reader if you own one and see what it is. Engine issues can cause you to burn up to 25% more fuel than you normally should. On the other hand, if you regularly service your car, then you're helping your engine run at its best. In fact, properly maintaining your car might cost you in the short term, but it will also improve your gas mileage by some 4%. Not to mention extend the overall performance and lifespan of your engine. And fixing a serious maintenance problem, like a faulty oxygen sensor, can improve your mileage by up to 40%. If you want to know how often you should get a tune-up, just check your car's manual. It depends on your car's age and model. For newer cars, an inspection is generally recommended every 20 to 30,000 miles. Also, check the fuel octane that's appropriate for your vehicle. Some people believe the myth that putting premium high-octane fuel will help their cars be more fuel efficient, but that isn't necessarily true. Many cars are actually designed to use regular low-octane fuel, so adding higher-octane fuel won't help your engine, but only hurt your wallet. One last tip for the day. This one's about air conditioning, since gas prices are expected to remain high through the summer. Some people believe that in hot weather you should use AC. The reasoning is that modern air conditionings create less drags than if you were to drive with the windows rolled down. But there are others that say driving with your windows rolled down will save you fuel. Here's the thing. The correct answer isn't absolutely either of the two. Studies show it's best to drive with the windows rolled down if you're driving at speeds less than 40 miles an hour. But if you're driving faster than that, then it's more fuel efficient to drive with the AC turned on and the windows rolled up. And of course, if you have flexibility, the best is to drive during cooler parts of the day if you can. That's because cooler, denser air can boost power and mileage, and your air conditioner won't have to turn itself on as often when it's not 100 degrees outside. Let's talk about what's happening right now. On March 6th, the average price of gas in the U.S. broke $4 a gallon. This was the first time it happened in almost 14 years. We're talking an increase of nearly 50% from a year ago. The next day, the national average was $4.10 a gallon, breaking an all-time record high. And that's not even taking inflation into account. The following day, it hit $4.17. That was an increase of about 55 cents since the week prior. Nowadays, filling up a small car can cost you $60, and a crossover can easily break $80. No wonder people are anxious about the future, and some experts expect this upward trend to continue in the months to come. Crude is petroleum gas in its natural state before it gets refined. Even before the U.S. ban, many Western energy companies moved to cut ties with Russia and limit imports. I'm talking about companies like ExxonMobil and BP. Shell purchased a shipment of Russian oil at the beginning of March, and then they apologized 2 days later after international criticism of their actions. Then they promised to stop any further purchases of Russian energy supplies. Preliminary data from the U.S. Energy Department showed more interesting findings. They found that imports of Russian crude oil dropped down to zero in the last week of February. So, how much does the U.S. rely on Russia for oil anyway? Well, Russia accounts for almost 10% of the world's oil supply. But you might be surprised to learn that Russia isn't the world's largest oil producer, and it isn't Saudi Arabia either. Believe it or not, actually, it's the United States. But the U.S. is also the world's biggest oil consumer. We can't meet the demand in our country only with U.S.-sourced crude oil. We need other countries to help too, and one of them has been Russia. At least it was. Last year, in 2021, the U.S. imported 245 million barrels of oil from Russia. That's about 8% of all U.S. oil imports. That's less than what the U.S. gets from Canada or Mexico, but more than we imported from Saudi Arabia. Biden explained it would be understandable that prices would rise, but he did caution the U.S. energy industry against excessive price increases and exploitation of consumers. Even so, that doesn't mean the industry will listen. Now, that's not to say that the U.S. economy can't fully handle higher gas prices. It can, but it will bring some challenges. There's just no way around that. Remember, gas prices were soaring even before the ban officially started, and a major reason for that was because of the looming possibility of a U.S. ban on Russian oil imports. Only now it's a reality. Even experts said they'd never seen this type of situation before with this level of uncertainty. In 2008, gas prices broke a record when it averaged $4.10 a gallon. When you take inflation into account, that comes to about $5.24 per gallon. Soaring prices stuck around for weeks, but here's the difference. The projections for high gas prices right now is that this time it'll stick around for months. Just how high are we talking about? As of the making of this video, experts are saying that we're headed towards national average of $4.50 a gallon. Some experts believe that this ban on Russian oil imports can even shoot an average over $5. In February, oil was selling for about $90 a barrel. Now that price is $130 a barrel. Energy analysts have warned that prices could rise as high as $160 or even $200 a barrel in the near future. This is only if sanctions continue and we continue to boycott Russian crude oil. Because of the U.S. ban on Russian gas and oil imports, the U.S. is considering other sources. For example, senior U.S. officials traveled to Venezuela recently to discuss the possibility of easing up oil sanctions over there. Time will tell as to whether the alternative sources will work or not. For now, the best we can do is save up on gas in any way we can and buckle up for rising prices in the months to come. But now, you tell me, how high do you think gas prices will be? Will there be a tipping point or threshold where you'll stop driving and take public transportation instead? Or maybe consider getting an electric vehicle? Do you have any other tips or tricks to save at the pump? Please share your experience by commenting below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for your support.